There are 3,000 kilometers between the western and eastern Kazakhstan boundary and 1,500 kilometers between the southern and northern boundary. Mountains covered by eternal snow, arid deserts, mighty rivers and boundless steppes lie between them. All of this is bound by a great sacred power that is people's love of their homeland. Constantly operating the Legend Hunters expedition has been to the far west and east of the country, traveled from the south to the north in order to convince themselves once again that there is nothing better than one's motherland. After returning from East Kazakhstan region, the members of constantly operating the Legend Hunters expedition did not enjoy their rest for a long time. Today they start a new expedition to one of the most beautiful and wildest places of Kazakhstan.
Нашу экспедицию в Северный Тянь-Шань мы решили разбить на 4 отдельных этапа.
We decided to divide our expedition through the North Tian-Shan into 4 separate stages, each dedicated to a certain geographical zone at different times of the year. We want to show you the North Tian-Shan as fully as possible, from foothill valleys to wild cliffs of the Nile Belt, where nothing but moss and lichen grow, the place that is inhabited only by ibexes and snow leopards, the masters of our Tian-Shan mountains. This is a long and complex expedition. We are going to travel by car, on horseback and on foot. We will visit the Jibek river source. It is rising on the largest concentration of glaciers in the North Tian-Shan on the Jibek-Kemin and Talgar junctions. We also wish to visit the Urukty lake. I read about it in Slobodchikov's book called Chikinda, the Son of the Forest, when I was a kid. He wrote this book when he was living on the Urukty lake shore in a semi-abandoned hut. I do not even know what he was eating. We wonder if this hut is still there. The Kolsay-Koldyry National Park will be the final point of our expedition. This is a rather civilized place. There are roads, guest houses and campsites. We will rest after the complicated expedition and also will show you how ecological tourism is developing in the national parks. It is hard to believe, but just 100 kilometers from the southern capital, a 2 million megalopolis, there are places where no man has gone before. The expedition heads to the intermontane valley between the Zayli and Kungey-Alatau, where on the Talgar Junction glaciers, the largest river of the North Tian-Shan, Jibek, is born. Running down the glaciers, thousands of small springs join into a mighty stream that cuts the rock assemblages like a pound cake. "100 kilometers from its source, the Jibek runs through a narrow canyon, inaccessible not only for vehicles but even for horses. The time seems to be standing still in this charming wilderness. Animals roam the paths which have existed in the Upper Paleolithic period. And infrequent herdsmen live just the way their ancestors lived. Though it is not easy to get to these lands, it allows the legend hunters to see a lot of amazing wonders which struck with awe the travelers of the past. One can get from Almaty to the Turgen Gorge by the Talgar highway. In less than an hour, the legend hunters reached the Turgen riverbank. It did not take much time to find the first legend. The famous Turgen burial ground of the Saka era is located right at the exit point from the Turgen Gorge, not far from the village of the same name. It was not easy to find the Turgen kurgans. They are hidden among cornfields, but here we found 4 kurgans. Their diameter is approximately 20 meters, and the height is 5-6 meters. We are going to come closer and examine them. In 2008, this monument has been investigated by the academician Margulan Semerechi expedition. The bulk of the Turgen kurgans dates back to the second half of the first millennium BC. This period is called the Early Iron Age or the Saka era, as well as the Royal because of the kurgan's sizes. Some kurgans date back to the Han Sarmatian time.
Мы находимся на окраине села Тургень.
We are on the outskirts of the Turgen village. This group of kurgans approximately dates back to the 5th century BC. That was the Saka era. These kurgans are smaller than the famous kurgan in which the academician Kemal Akishev expedition found Altyn Adam, the Golden Man. But anyway, they are quite impressive. Their diameter is about 25 meters. The height is 5-6 meters. Some of them have been plundered, and some have remained intact. The farm work is underway here. We see tractors. They sow winter crops. A high-quality asphalt road will lead the travelers to the Batan Natural Landmark. It is located on the territory of the Ilya-Alatau National Park. That is why they have to pay the entrance fee. Tourists have a tradition of taking photo near the Golden Man in front of the national park's gates. The ones who want to visit the Turgen waterfall can leave their cars on the Huntsman Garden and walk 8 kilometers along the eco footpath. Ecotourism is healthy, and also it develops our aesthetic feeling of environmental perception and brings the national park income necessary for protection and preservation of nature. Astrophysical Observatory on the Assy Plateau was built by the Astrophysical Institute of the Academy of Science of the Kazakh SSR in 1975. High transparency of clear mountain air allows observing details of the solar system planet surfaces. The object has been reconstructed several times. By 1991, 2 telescope towers and the hotel block had been erected, and 1-meter telescope had been launched here. In Soviet time, there were a cultural center of distant pasture cattle tending and a pioneer camp on this place. And now, the Ilya-Alatau National Park develops ecotourism here. The pass has a view of the Assy River Valley. For centuries, the dwellers of the foothill plains drove their herds to these rich mountain meadows at the beginning of June and moved down to the plain in the middle of September.
Such seasonable change of pastures made it possible for soil and grass cover of the alpine meadows to recover easily. Mountain ecosystems are particularly vulnerable. If livestock grazes on the meadows all year round, the pastures will become degraded.
Я сейчас смотрю на GPS.
I'm looking at the GPS. It shows that the Jibek River Valley is just 20 kilometers from us. But to get there by car, we will have to make a 300 kilometers detour, because the shortest path through the 4,000-meter high mountains is inaccessible to vehicles and even to horses. We have a choice, either to climb the cliff bastions or come around 300 kilometers through the Saty and Kurmety villages and try to reach the Jibek source along the riverbank.
И попытаться подняться к истокам Чилика вдоль реки Чилик.
The Joly Alatau stretches almost 300 kilometers from the Chu River in the west to the Jibek River in the east. This is the northernmost arc of the North Tian mountain system. In the south, the ridge is separated from the Kungey Alatau by the valleys of two rivers, which rise on the largest ice field of the North Tian on the Jibek-Kimin junction. They are the Jibek and Chonkimin rivers. There are more than 370 glaciers with total area of more than 450 square kilometers. Shokan Walikhanov, who made a journey to the Issyk-Kul in 1956, wrote that crossing over the Jibek River was very dangerous. All the food supply got wet, and several provision bags were swept downstream. Semyonov-Tianshansky depicted the Jibek River the same way. His crew members killed a tiger while passing the Joly Alatau. It had previously been considered that the tiger inhabited only floodplain forests of lowland rivers, but it turned out that the big cats had sometimes gone high into the mountains. Now the tigers are extinct here, but the headwaters of the rivers that rise on the Joly Alatau glaciers are inhabited by snow leopards. The legend hunters hope to see this rare and amazing animal in the desolate region they are heading to. Altitudinal zonation is distinctly seen in the Joly Alatau. Fruit trees like small apricot, apple, mountain ash and hawthorn grow in the submontane belt. The spruce forest belt begins at 1,500–1,700 meters and is followed by the alpine belt 1,000 meters higher. Only junipers grow there, and the wild boars hide in their bushes. These perpetual plowmen sometimes dig up hectares of soil as if they look for buried treasure. But the higher the legend hunters go up the mountains, the less they come across the boar's traces and the rockier the landscape becomes. This is the kingdom of the wild mountain goat, ibex. The ibex are matchless mountaineers. They can climb almost vertical cliffs. The air gradually becomes cool and tenuous. The pass has a charming view of the Jibek River Valley. The Kungey Alatau peaks show up white in the south. The Issyk-Kul is almost right beyond them. A river twists in the middle of the green valley. This is the Jibek. The goal of the expedition has been achieved. They saw the mysterious valley from a bird's eye view. Secrets and mysteries of this beautiful place lured the legend hunters. In the next episode, we will show you the mysterious valley in all its glory and unveil another legend.